Biden will not be praising. A number of House Republicans yesterday marching over to the Senate to protest reimposing mask mandates in the House, speaking out against Speaker Nancy Pelosi's push to mask up.
That is not a speaker for America. That's a speaker only concerned about her own wealth, her own direction, and her own control. This is the People's House, not Pelosi.
Seriously, do we really want to listen to this?
Wow.
Do we really, seriously, like the dumbest man in Washington?
Here's my question. Is he really that dumb?
Yeah, I don't know if he is or not. I don't know if he just plays dumb on TV or if he's actually dumb. But the question is, how many of those House Republicans are vaccinated? How many members of the House are vaccinated? Because I know most of the Democrats are. We've been hearing that there are Republicans that are still not vaccinated. How many of those House Republicans that you saw right there are flying back to districts that are still hot with infections, that are still dangerous with infections because the infections are growing in their parts of the country? Chances are pretty good if they're at a press conference like that. Chances are really good just looking at that map that they're all from red-hot districts, or most of them are from red-hot districts. And finally, you just got to ask. You just got to ask. Why aren't they following the example of Governor Kay Ivey? Why aren't they following the example of Mitch McConnell, who's actually spending campaign money to get the message out in his district?
Mitch McConnell wears a mask.
And Mitch McConnell's been wearing a mask ahead of all the other Republicans taking this seriously. So this isn't, like Joe Biden said, this isn't a Republican and Democratic thing. This is an issue of life and death.
Well, and one of those Republicans, Joe, said that this is tyranny, what's happening to them with the masks.
Well, so
tyranny.
Tyranny, I wonder if they think it's tyranny that children have to get vaccinated before they go to kindergarten. Again,
what did they think
why are we just starting to hear about this? I mean, you talk about this hyper-individualism with no personal responsibility. You actually have people that are snowflakes that melt, that crumble, that collapse if they have to wear a mask inside. It's just, tyranny. You're in the House of Representatives. You make laws for the United States of America. You have some personal responsibility to your constituents. Do what Mitch McConnell's doing and stop making stupid political statements and doing those stunts.
I'd like to point out, Joe, that a couple of those Republicans, some of them went and tried to defy the mask mandate in the House and were trying to get arrested, putting their hand. They can't even keep a straight face. Yeah. I mean, some of them, and Kevin McCarthy himself, can't even keep a straight face when he's saying this stuff. It's a joke.
This has been a joke for a lot of them from the time Donald Trump said that the coronavirus was just one person coming in from China, and it was going to be gone. Up to now, over 600,000 people dead, and
making a joke.
Again, if they don't care about people dying, and again, I'm sure a lot of them didn't care about older people dying. Again, we've got the clips. If you want us to play the clips, we'll be glad to play the clips of talk host types that say, well, they've lived a long life. Why are we worried so much about them? Now it's the children. Now it's their communities. And if they don't care about that even, it's the small business owners that run the economy. Yeah. It's the family businesses, the family hardware store, the family restaurant, the entrepreneurs, the thousands of entrepreneurs that create millions of jobs and grow this economy. And a lot of them, they did make it alone. These small business owners, family business owners, sometimes passed down from generation to generation, whether it's a hardware store or it's that family restaurant that you've been going to in your town for a long time. Mm-hmm. Those people need your help.
They do.
They need to make sure they can keep their doors open. And if you're in one of those hot zones that the CDC said, help those small business owners out. Help those entrepreneurs out. Help that family business out. They've been with you shoulder to shoulder through the years. You be with them. If you're in one of those hot red zones, help them out. Get a vaccination. And when you go in there, don't be a snowflake. Help them out. Wear a mask if it's going to help them, if it's going to help the health of your community, and yes, if it's going to help your own family. Let's bring right now host of the podcast, On Brand with Donnie.